Hello everyone, today is the 1st of July 2021. We're into the 4th trading day of the week and the first trading day of a new month. Alright, so in this video, we are going to run you through our 5 most focused markets: the euro dollar, gold, Nasdaq, US oil, and Bitcoin. And of course, we are going to talk about the dollar as well. So let's kick off with the dollar. So for the dollar itself, let's first look at the monthly charts. So the monthly candle has closed very bullish. Alright, as you can see, a very strong bullish candle that kind of engulfed the previous one, and it is trading halfway of the previous monthly candle in April. So it indeed is a very bullish one, but however, we want to take note that two things. One is that it has rebounded off from 89.6. Alright, so this level itself has become a pretty important support for us right now, and right now it is also reaching the top, alright, of a descending triangle, as you can see. So that also means to say that upside could be limited in a way because it's going to face strong resistance very soon. Alright, and based on all the moving averages, I would say it is still not really bullish or bearish because it is still trading within all of these MAs, but do take note that it has also rebounded off from this black color moving average. I'm not going to talk about the value yet. Alright, so let's go into the weekly time frame. Alright, so in the weekly time frame, this week itself is still rather bullish, but we only left with 2 more days for it to see if it's able to break higher, which I think there's a possibility it will go higher. And if it reaches the top, alright, you will reach this blue color moving average, which is 63. Alright, 63 moving average. So I think there will be resistance for sure, as it also reaches the top of this descending triangle, or rather a trend line itself. And into the daily time frame, yesterday was rather bullish as well. The high is slightly higher than the previous high here. So for today, I think there's a good chance we might see the dollar either it pulls back a little bit first, retest somewhere at this region before it goes up, or it may just go up all the way, right, retest the top right here. As you can see, there is a gap down right here, right? So this in itself could be an important supply zone for us to look out for. All right, so if the price is able to reach this supply zone at the top and also register at the top of the descending triangle, we'll have a opportunity to sell the dollar again, which means to say buying the dollar pairs such as the euro dollar. Of course, you got to depends on it also depends on whether dollar is the base currency or quote currency, but in short is to sell the dollar if it rises and reaches 92.6. Alright, so that is for the dollar. Let's move on to our very first focused market, the euro against US dollar. So yesterday, we are actually still looking for buying opportunity. We thought that, the pullback hasn't been enough, but anyway, we are proven wrong, right? We are wrong, right? When we are wrong, we just have to admit it, that's all, and we go on from there. So right now, obviously, it is still very bearish in the short term. Alright, price has fell for the 1, 2, 3. Right now it's the 4th consecutive days if it really continues to fall. So therefore, going to the 4-week time frame, we now want to look for opportunity to sell instead of buy, right? So this area I think will turn into a supply zone for the time being, because you can see that this is where the price is getting supported while it was consolidating. It rebounded a little bit off, alright, and then it goes all the way down. So this itself, alright, we can actually pull it out into a falling trend line. Alright, so we'll just wait for the price to pull back and look for a retest. So very first level, if it pulls back to this area, alright, we can actually look to sell again. But if it pulls back further, then we'll want to look at this area. Okay, you can see that this trend line right here, after it broke out, a retest, came all the way down and break below this important support. So therefore, this area itself, alright, will be rather important. The best level to actually sell it is actually right here, 1.19 flat. Then again, when it comes to the short-term situation, I guess a pullback over this level will be good enough. So somewhere right here, we're going to try selling it again. Just see if it's able to pull back to this area. Pullback of 35 pips, that's usually the average of a pullback, alright, when it's in a trend. So today the trading plan is very straightforward. Just wait for a pullback into this area at about 1.1875. Stop loss, you can set it just right at the top, right? For if you want to go really tight. All right, first take profit level, of course, retest of the bottom, and then all the way down into this demand zone right at the bottom, 1.18 flat, which will also bring us to the bottom of the entire symmetrical triangle, as we can see here. So, alright, it's very straightforward. And to add on, right now it is actually the 5th wave of the Elliott wave, or the very last motif wave of a basic Elliott wave. So which is why in intraday this is what we can look for. But otherwise, we just wait for it to reach the demand zone at the bottom and go for a buy instead. But we'll talk about it later on when it reaches this area. So just for now, for today, we'll wait for pullback and look for a selling opportunity. Right, so first back to the previous low, and then all the way into the demand zone at 1.18 flats. Alright, so that's for the euro against US dollar. Moving on, we have the gold. Alright, so for the gold itself, looking at the daily time frame, right, yesterday it rebounded off from the demand zone at the neckline level. Alright, so this neckline is being created after this double bottom at the bottom. Alright, and that created a really strong bullish trend all the way to 19,000, slightly above. And right now it is still going up, and it is essentially trying to break above this falling trend line. Alright, so it does seem that there will be more upside. In fact, when it reaches this support turn resistance level, there's a little bit of a resistance, but it just continues to go up, not much selling at all. So this could be a very strong sign that the gold might continue to go up later on. Also, we want to look at the monthly candle. So the monthly candle is a very bearish one. It is able to close right above the opening price of previous monthly candle. That in itself tells us that there might be a little bit more upside before it actually goes down even more. Essentially, it's just saying that there's support right at this area. In fact, this area is so important that previously in these 2 months, there's also support as well. There's about 1772, 1772. This is a really important level that we have to watch out throughout the entire market. And going to the daily time frame, right? So now that the price has rebounded, right? If it's able to break above this trend line, then we will get a more bullish trend. Going all the way first into this supply zone, and if it goes even stronger, you will reach the demand zone right. You will reach the supply zone at the top here. And so right now we can replot the Fibonacci swing high to swing low. We will see that this area is the 30.2% pullback level. All the way 61.8 is right here, 1,850, very near to the equilibrium level. So I guess since there's a good rebound from this area, and there's buyers coming in, right? So we kind of want to look for buying opportunity instead. At the end of the day, we are still within a consolidation. All right, just want to remind you. So we want to wait for a pullback. Okay, let's wait for the pullback towards somewhere right here, because this is where it broke out of this the top of a very small consolidation. Right, came back and retest the same level, and then it went up. Alright, so this will be important level for us to take note of for today. So if the price is able to come back down to this level and say that we decided to go for the buy right here, stop loss just somewhere right at the previous low. First take profit level, we have to watch out for this previous support turn resistance level in this area. We still have to take note of it. That will be the very first level, but essentially if it's able to break higher, we want to see go all the way into this supply zone at the top right here. Alright, so that is the trading plan for the gold. Next we have the Nasdaq. Alright, so for the Nasdaq, yesterday we are also waiting for the pullback, retest the resistance and support area, and going for a buy. So indeed there is some support right here at about 14,530, 40, and then but the trend hasn't came out yet, and therefore we might still have an opportunity to buy the gain. But in any case, let's look at the monthly charts. So last month, in the month of June, we have a very bullish candle as well. It does seem that we will still have a little bit more upside but just take note that the US stock market right now is a little bit overheated, all right, since it has been breaking new high week by week, and of course day by day as well. So right now we can still look for buy. All right, we can still try to look for a buying opportunity. Just wait for the price to reach the bottom again. Bottom of this rising channel, and see if you can buy again. So all the way into the 1 hourly time frame, we might already have a chance to do so. So the plan will be very similar to what we have yesterday, is to buy the pullback right here. That would be somewhere about 14,550, and if it goes up, all right, I guess the very first key level you want to look for is as it reaches the middle portion, right, of this rising channel. As you can see, as it always reaches the middle part, you will just pull back or find resistance, and so therefore this will be the very first level to look out for. But eventually, if it's able to go all the way to the top of the channel, that is where we really want. But if let's say there's really an overheat situation, overbought situation, usually it won't really reach. Somewhere right here will be about it. So that will be our final targets, and that will be bring us to about 14,800. all right, so that will be the final level for the Nasdaq. All right, so very straightforward for Nasdaq, nothing much for us to really take note of right now, except for the fact that it's really getting more overbought, but it is still very bullish. So we have no doubts that we will still look to buy the Nasdaq. Moving on, we have the US oil. So the US oil, yesterday we are also looking for opportunity to sell, but end of the day is it only consolidated. It just kind of swing up and down, so there wasn't really any trend. But one thing to take note of is that based on what we have right here, the highs and the lows are getting higher. In fact, I think the low is the one that we want to look to take note of. Is persistently pushing higher, right? There's still a cap on it, all right, trying to prevent it from going any higher. But once it breaks, right, I think it will go very fast. So and the thing is that we actually had a head and shoulder formation, but it doesn't seem to be working out so well. And the moment if this head and shoulder fails and the price breaks higher, I think it will go really fast. All right, so therefore for today we will still be we want to focus on buying instead. And but first of all, let's look at the monthly time frame. So so in the month of June, very bullish candle, as you can see, but however it hasn't really reached the highest level right here, the major equilibrium level at about 70. Let's put it at 77. I know previously we are always saying that it's 76.6, but just put it at 77, easy for us to remember. And indeed, right, the price has still a little bit of space for it to go up. So now if we look at the weekly time frame, we already saw that the price has already tried to move lower, but then it got supported and it pulls all the way up. So I think there's a very high chance that the going forward we'll see the price go up even more. So therefore, right, going back to the daily time frame as well, right, if it still forms a bullish candle, something like a doji, and run out at the very beginning, it is already going upwards. So alright, fine, let's stick to the plan. But in the 4-hourly time frame, the fact is that it has been always supported by the moving averages. So nothing really changed in terms of the trend, just that there's a lot of consolidation up and down. And if I just pull out this trend line right here, you can see that essentially it is also forming another channel right here. Alright, so I think this is about over, and therefore we will look to buy. It is already very near the bottom of the channel, so let's just go for the buy. In fact, you can even consider buying right now at this price. It won't be too much. So in terms of stop loss, I think you can just set it right at the previous low here. All right, the target itself, of course, we want to always take note of the previous high, but then I think it should be not much of an issue if it turns bullish today. There shouldn't be much of an issue for it to reach the top of it. So that would be about 76. Right, that's where we really kind of want to take profit. But the final target, of course, we can always aim for the major equilibrium at 77. So that will be our final targets. So these are the two levels we want to look out for just for today. All right, or rather for this trading plan. All right, so that is for the US oil. And last but not least, we have the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we are looking for buying opportunity as well. But yesterday, after it came down, it just consolidates, and there isn't much for us to look for. But if you ask me right now, I think I will change my view a little bit, because obviously there are still sellers coming in right at this level, at 35,150. As you can see, support. This is an important resistance level, then it went up, but it came all the way down, and then it got registered at the same price again. So there's a possibility that it might push the price lower, and then we'll wait for the pullback again before we actually try to buy again. And if that is the case, I think the first thing we can do is pull a Fibonacci from this swing low to this swing high, and wait for it to pull back to the 61.8% level, where we also have pretty good support at this price, 32,500. To make things really simple, straightforward, and effective, let's just wait for the pullback, alright, to 32,550, and then we will try to attempt a buy again from here. So if we were to buy, of course, we have to, the first level will be back to 35,000, because that's the price that resistance has been appearing. So let's just put it up for you. Alright, stop loss wise, you have to set it below the 78.6%, close to the 80.6. So at the least, you have to set it about 30,000. I would say 31,000. Alright, 31,000. Alright, first take profit level 35,100. Going higher, we want to see it go all the way into this supply zone at the top. Alright, because you can see that if the price is able to find support and goes up again, the highs and the lows are actually getting higher as well. So definitely, if it's able to go up again, I strongly believe the price will definitely be able to break higher again before it pulls back. Alright, so that will be our final target, which will be somewhere about 37,600, or the most, alright, 38,000. Okay, so that will be our trading plan for the Bitcoin. Alright, so that is all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. So see you again tomorrow.